What effect do you hope that your convoy will have on the Gazan people, not just today, but in the future?
Oh man, I think that yes, they want the aid, yes, they want the medicine and the blankets and the wheelchairs, but when they see our faces and when they see people care, I could just see the tears coming down our eyes on both sides, and I think that will last a lifetime. That we're not a forgotten people. The worst thing that could happen to you in life is that the world forgot about you, and I'm going to allow for a mightier power at the time to eliminate you, to neutralize you, to destroy you, and without anybody responding. We can get 100, 200 people across that border. Yes, the aid will be fine, but just to see these human beings that care about us, I think that'll go a long way.
Do you think that the action will make a difference in the political arena? Will it raise public awareness of this situation?
It has a lot of benefits. One, it will definitely do that because all of us have to go back to our areas in the United States and make a report back. And the report's going to be very visual, very passionate, very powerful. It'll make a difference for the people of Gaza, certainly, that their lives will be improved, even if it's just a little drop in the bucket. It's going to make a difference. You know, Barack Obama, the presidents, you know, they had Hosni Mubarak, had to mention it at the big G8 meeting they have, and he had to mention it and say that, you know, he feels that this convoy should be let through. So the world is bringing attention to the world, and that has a way of influencing politics. So I'm hoping when we go back to America that people in their different states will make report backs and try to encourage city councils and try to encourage state assemblies and try to encourage the Congress of America to take a different position, and a position that will be more supportive of the Palestinian plight and Palestinian liberation.
Great, thank you. I think I'm done actually with questions.
Thank you.
Can I just ask one more, which is just,
Sure.
and you spoke to it a little bit, but you know, you're a city councilman from Brooklyn, which has the highest concentration of Black people in the United States. If you could just talk, you spoke about the sort of commonality between the Black experience and the Palestinian experience. If you could talk more about what it would mean and what your vision is for Black politics regarding Palestine and for solidarity among Black people in Palestine.
Can you look this way as well for continuity for
Yeah,
both of us?
sure.
Well, you know, I think that once any people are oppressed, we're all oppressed. And usually it's from the same oppressor, whether it's directly or indirectly. So by raising up the contradictions of the American government in Palestine, it is similar to the contradictions of the American government and how they treat Black people in New York City, how they will allow for a police department to shoot at an individual, Sean Bell, who's getting married the next day, who's not committing any crime, 50 times and hit him 4 times and kill him and walk. That will allow for the Black community to have the worst roads, the worst hospitals, the worst schools, the worst lack of recreation, the worst no clinics. You know, some of the same issues that are happening in Gaza, not as drastically bad, but we have high unemployment, 50% Black male unemployment. We have people that have high blood pressure that don't have health care insurance, so they can't get the proper treatment. So when we link those struggles and say that the same people, either directly or indirectly, that are oppressing the people of Palestine are also oppressing you. Secondly, when we say that there are people, there are us, you know, Egypt is Africa, you know, Palestine is a part of Africa too. We are all an African people, life originated in Africa. So we're talking about one people. And once you are a human rights activist, you have to go beyond yourself. And if you allow it to happen to another, then it just strengthens the oppressor's hand in oppressing you. And Steve Biko, the South African Black Consciousness Movement leader, said it best. The most potent weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So we have to change the mind of our people, make the connections to Palestine and East New York, Brooklyn, make the connections to black people in Brooklyn with black people in Somalia, black people in the Congo, where there's 7 million people dying. That's the next caravan we need to go to, is the Congo. And in Darfur, 400,000 people dead, a genocide in Darfur. The people of East New York, Harlem, they need to make the connection between Darfur, the Congo, Palestine, and their plight in America.
So it's not just human rights for Palestinians, it's human rights for everybody.
That's right. We have to revolutionize the globe. We have to have a global movement against imperialism and racism and sexism, capitalism, a global movement. People shouldn't be afraid to say they're socialist or communist. They shouldn't be afraid to say that they're against Israel's government. Because even the people of Israel, some of the masses of Israel, are against what they're doing to the Palestinian people. And you got to look out that you don't condemn all Jews or all people from Israel. It's the Israeli government. There's some Jewish organizations that are for what the government is doing, but there's even a separation there. So I think the people of the world need to rise up and say, hey, look, there's enough energy on this planet for everybody's house to be lit up. There's enough food on this planet for everybody to be fed. There's enough materials on this planet for everybody to live in a decent home. And there's enough work to do on this planet for everybody to have a living wage job. There's enough medical genius on this planet for everybody to have a hospital in their neighborhood, a clinic in their neighborhood to take care of their illnesses. It's greed. It's ego. It's power-hungry people that want to hoard, most of the riches and deny the people of the planet, the most vulnerable people of the planet. How could you have an American government with a $3.2 trillion national budget and Native Americans who you stole this land from in the first place stuck on reservations with alcoholic problems, health problems, not having adequate health care? How could you have a $3.2 trillion budget and you have food supply, tremendous food supply, and starving children, hungry children in America, homelessness in America? It's incredible that this could happen in the richest country in the world. So you don't measure a country on how powerful their military is or how large their bank account and budget is, but how they're treating the least of these, their children.
Thank you, Councillor Barron. If we could just end it by if you could introduce yourself and state your mission, please.
My name is Charles Barron. I am a member of the New York City Council, and I call myself a black elected revolutionary. I'm not a politician, and my mission here in Cairo, Egypt, is to join this marvelous, historic caravan of Americans going into Palestine and telling the people of Palestine, we love you, and here's some aid for you, and give them hugs, and give them all the medical supplies we can, and hope that that drop in the bucket is a bright spot and a bright light in their life.
Great, thank you.